Oh well, that went well, didn't it? Brilliant. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. We're here at Sacnoth Valley. This is obviously an area we've seen before, but only sort of a select area of it, just sort of the field and the base inside the char. As you can see, we've got two quests going on here. We've got the smell of Titan in the morning, which we read the start of right at the end of the last episode, and we've also got the Assassin's Revenge, which I'm going to do first. Okay, so and here you can see the reward. Yes, it does say Anton joined your party. I guess that was kind of obvious from the start after I said that a hero would join us after the 3 quests. You know, that I guess there was a chance that Scout Winslow would have joined our party, but then again we never did manage to get him out of the cage, so yeah. Alright, so yes, I'm in a siege devourer. I climbed in this because Molotov Rocktail came along and sieged me on my way here through the Dalada uplands, so I got in this and made a hasty retreat by using high R constantly. But yeah, let's go through. This is a very rocky area. There's a few cool things to show here. We'll be making numerous trips coming back, but I've got a couple of things on the agenda right now. So anyway, here's Anton, all the way down there. He says, "Ah, here you are again. You have the persistence of a jade scarab searching for a dark recess to lay its eggs." So there you go. There's another reference to animals interior. They're so awesome. I love how this quest change just seems to have loads of them in it. He says, "Well, you have proved yourself useful in the past. Come, the time for revenge is at hand. You have stood by me, Peter, so you should know the truth of the matter." Yeah, what's going on, Anton? "When the Char attacked Ascalon, I made a deal." Oh god, he's speaking very fast, isn't he? "With the invaders in return for the lives of my friends and family. I provided Rend Rage Mauler useful information. I was caught in my traitorous actions, and that is why I was in prison when Sirmia fell. I returned to my village to find bodies stacked as high as huts. Rage Mauler had betrayed me. I am not the noble soldier Langmar thinks. I am a fool and a traitor. I have paid for my mistakes with the blood of my family and of my friends. I cannot change what I have done, nor can I forgive myself. I can only seek vengeance for those who died because of my folly. One way or another, my rage shall finally be sated." So, what do you think? I like the story arc. I think he's quite a compelling character. I think he's quite cool. And yeah, I kind of like... Oh god, has he already ran off, or is he following me? He's following me. I quite like Anton. It's just a shame, right? Yeah, he becomes a hero. Yeah, you'll see me using him in the Let's Play, obviously. I'm not going to get a hero and not actually use it. But the sad truth is, assassin heroes suck arse. They just do, guys. So Anton's like a guy that really I rarely ever see. You can see lots of Grawl over here. There's actually I mentioned it before. The quest is actually called... it's called Ugly Gruul Seeks Same for Mindless Destruction in Ascalon or something. So we'll be seeing that as we go through. I think that's what it is. So the Grawl are actually around here, and they're very cool. If you actually remember from early on in Prophecies, the Grawl and the Char seem to be working with each other to a certain extent. And you can see the same kind of things going on here in the Char homelands, which is really cool. I like how they remembered the Grawl, because honestly, we haven't seen very many Grawl. They weren't there at all in Factions or Nightfall, which is quite interesting considering both Factions and Nightfall actually had moments where previous races were reintroduced in some form or another, like the Centaurs, for instance, in Alona, how they sort of came back. But the Grawl just never really did. But now, finally, we get to see them again. They come forward a bit. Anyway, this quest that we're doing, basically it ends just down here. This is just outside where we were fighting in the mission, by the way. And there's going to be a lot of talking. I'm going to do my utmost to keep up with it. It's going to be a bit like when we... brought Gwen into the underworld, essentially. It's just a major problem with Guild Wars. I kind of wish there was an option that would let you make it so that the next bit of dialogue only triggers when you've actually clicked the X button on the dialogue box that's already up. That would have helped me so much during this Let's Play. It's unreal. But you know, you get what you're given. Alright, let's siege these guys since the Char aren't moving forward for whatever funny reason that is. And yeah, I might actually dismount from the Siege Devourer soon enough as well. I don't know though. I quite like running around here in the Siege Devourer. I rarely do it. It's pretty cool. I would have loved to have been in the Siege Devourer when we were in the mission. How awesome would that have been? But I guess, you know, the Siege Devourer can barely fit through that gate, right? Anyway, I am right, aren't I? Yeah, we're just going up there. That's why I'm looking over there. So yeah, we'll finish these guys off, though, because I don't want them suddenly attacking me in the back. You get lots of patrols of Char, very wide-spreading patrols going on around here. I'll probably take these guys out as well, because, honestly, I'm not that familiar with their past, and I really wouldn't want them just running up to me and completely throwing me off while we're in the middle of a big story bit, because you know we only really see Anton through these 3 quests. It's kind of like, you know, like Hader. We only really got to know her through the Frog Stump quest and so on. It's a shame with the Arenanet heroes, but I guess being optional heroes, that's just the way it goes, right? You know, I do remember sort of when games were a lot more simple, like particularly with the Final Fantasy series, you used to like get hidden characters and stuff, and they had really in-depth stories. But now that games are the way they are now, people just can't afford to dedicate loads of resources to sort of potential characters that players could completely miss. So yeah, we just get lumped with these 3 quests. So I'll try and do Anton some justice here. We're going to walk up. Here's Rend Rage Mauler and his cronies. Anton says, Rend Rage Mauler. Can I fight them already? Can I? Awesome, I think I can. This isn't going to interrupt the dialogue, is it? Ren says, you look familiar. Yes, you're the sad little traitor from Ascalon. I thought you were executed. I lived, and now it's time for you to face my justice. And mine as well, and all of my henchmen's. Oh, Sin's dead already. You've come a long way to die, meat. We don't intend on dying, Rage. We do not intend on dying. I've heard a lot about you. We've hunted you down here. We're going to knock you out. I could have sworn that there was a bigger conversation here. If I'm wrong, yeah, maybe there wasn't a huge conversation. Maybe half of it just happened at the start when we got in and spoke to Anton at the start.
Who goes there?
Oh, Anton actually speaks to us. He says, what do you want? Why are you staring at me? Do you want some of this? Do you? Oh, so Ren says, I yield meat. I surrender. Let us strike a deal. Yeah, I thought there was more dialogue. I know too well with your deals. Focus your gaze upon these 3 swords upon my back. He does have 3 swords. I can't exactly zoom in while I'm in the Siege of Ara, but he does. We'll see plenty of him when he's in our party. So you're going to kill him, Anton? Each blade I carry as a reminder of what you took away from me. 1 for my family, 1 for my village, and 1 for my honor. I want them back. And then we go in and we kill him. Rend has nothing else to say to that. It's weird. You kill all of his friends, right? I think maybe this quest would have been better if all of the friends stayed. You can fight them until Rend became hostile as well, but that's the way it happens. So there you go. We get plus 50 reputation points for defeating him, and he gave us a superb char carving, and that's it, man. That's the quest with Anton done. We go speak to Captain Langmar, and he'll join our party. So it's pretty cool. I quite like it. I'm sure it's probably a reference somehow to something, a movie. You know, as I said, they really up the ante with Arvanoff. Oh yeah, this dialogue here. Don't zone out straight away. So many players just zone out straight away as soon as they see quest complete. This is one of those times where you can miss extra dialogue. So that dialogue is, it is done. My rage is sated. My promises are fulfilled. Though I will never bring my loved ones back, my own crime remains. I cannot return to the Ebon Vanguard. They do not know the truth. Let me follow you and aid you in your struggles, and perhaps in time I can atone for my sins. There you go. It's pretty cool. I like it because he's, you know, this is one of the heroes where they actually go and give him a pretty solid motivation for coming with us, right? I mean, some of the heroes we've met, or particularly the henchmen, it's quite bad. The reason why they're there, it's more just so thinly disguised as you know, they're just there for the gameplay's sake. But whatever, there you go. There's Anton. That's our assassin. Obviously, in Eye of the North, in case you hadn't twigged this or I hadn't said it yet, you get a hero of every profession, and you also get a hero of basically every race as well. That concerning Guild Wars 2, anyway, excluding the Sylvari. But I know I said that just the other day. So yeah, we get lots more Earth Elementals. This is another reason why I think this area, this is the area I was talking about, reminds me of Pre-Searing so much, because a lot of the things you fight there, the Grawl, the Elementals, and you know, these aren't the new fancy looking Elementals that were slowly introduced. You know, they introduced even more in Eye of the North, but in Nightfall in particular, you know, you had like the stone cracks and stuff. They're all elementals. They're in lore the same kinds of things, but you know, they went with the old models, and yeah, it just reminds you of it. The fact that you get the red iris flowers spawning all around. Of course, that's not unique to Sacnoth Valley. Don't get me wrong, but it all adds up. And this is, if any of the areas were pre-searing, this was it to me. Also, maybe because it's a little bit easier than the other areas, we're actually heading next. Obviously, we're not going to Langmar yet because we've got this Titan that's been sighted down here. Where we're going, where this Titan is, that's a really dangerous area. I always have trouble there, and I'm probably going to have trouble there as soon as we get there in a minute. We're going to be walking down here. You've got to spread out, not just for this quest, but whenever you go back to this area that we're going to, you will get absolutely devastated if you don't, especially if you're relying on henchmen like I am. Or you're not using like an overpowered hero build, and you're just sort of playing and having a bit of fun as you go along. It's so weird playing it with the Siege Devourer. You're just so big. I mean, Christ. Oh, I usually like this area because, you know, it's so rocky and it's all quite closed in, which isn't something obviously you see much in Guild Wars.
Who goes there?
I know there are more than 32 creatures out there. Have you looked everywhere? Yeah, all right. Oh, look, so here's actually some of the newer ones, these flowstone elementals. So they have put newer elementals there, but they've kept the stone ones, you know. I don't think you get to see any of the ice ones, but that's beside the point. There's nowhere really mountainous here. But that's something I've always wanted to do. Always. And when they were first mentioning Guild Wars Beyond and all this new stuff that was going to be in the game, holy shit, has everybody died? Where is everyone? Hello? Oh, they're just underneath me. Yeah, when they started mentioning Guild Wars Beyond, and there was kind of the possibility, we were thinking, oh, maybe they have the resources to bring back, build new explorable areas and outposts. I've always wanted to go back to Phobal's Folly, and that's actually the one outpost I've never shown you in this Let's Play. But there's like a mountainous region in pre-Searing Ascalon that you can never get back to. It's just sort of south of Rin, about here, I guess. Which is actually quite weird when you put it into context of the Mineral Springs, and you think, Jesus Christ, there's an early game area just near where we were meeting the Seers, which is kind of mind-blowing if you ask me. That's really weird to think of it that way, but that's something I always wanted to do, and you never got to go back there. I can't remember how I talked myself onto that point. Anyway, this is the Burning Forest. This is what the Titan's done. The Titan has done this to this beautiful forest here. Now this is kind of interesting. This place is very cool, right? Straight away it's very cool. You get lots of patrolling Jinn, a lot of really dangerous fire things. They all have massive AoE. They use like searing heat and shit, and just they're generally very dangerous. So what I like to do is just sort of flag everyone out and make sure you kill all of this stuff with everything flagged out. And just stand around for a while because they'll keep patrolling into you. You definitely, especially me playing without a compass, you definitely don't want things running in behind you because that would just be the worst thing in the world. So do watch out. I mean, if you look at my team, yeah, see, they're already dying, and these are just from a few Jinn that are patrolling around. There are bosses here. I'm not sure whether during the quest there are bosses here, but there are bosses around. I think there is a Jinn boss at one point here. So just be very careful. This place is awesome, not just because it's so unique looking, it's so fancy looking. This is the other area, by the way, I was talking about when we were beneath the Doomlore Shrine, and I said, oh, there's a place that lags you out as well. It used to lag out my old computer. This was it, and they were like the only two places in Guild Wars that ever lagged out my old computer. But we're doing fine here now, obviously. But yeah, the best thing about this place is it really makes you scared, and you really have to be careful about where you go because there's a lot of seriously dangerous stuff around here. Over here, you just kind of got this weird like Gruul camp here, and they seem to be worshipping like this tree thing. I don't know whether that's got anything to do with like Melandriel or not. I'm not even sure if the Gruul worship Melandriel. I mean, they're obviously very primitive, like bandit people, but still. I'll just lure those over here because what the hell. But yeah, onto my original point. It's a single Titan, okay? A single Titan has come here, and it's weird because there's like a lore gameplay divide here as well. But it's come here and wreaked all of this destruction, just one Titan. While we've been seeing lots of destroyers, and we're going to see when we get to the Tarnished Coast and finish the final stuff there in the Asura homelands, that the destroyers do this to an extent as well. But a whole hive of destroyers won't necessarily wreak so much destruction on the face of the planet than the Titans seem to be able to do, which is kind of interesting because it kind of makes you think, well, maybe the Titans are more powerful than the destroyers. But if you actually look at it logically, the Titans are just something that was created as a byproduct of one of the human gods, okay? And the human gods aren't quite as powerful as the Elder Dragons, while the Destroyers are essentially minions of one of the Elder Dragons. So why would the Titans be stronger than the Destroyers? Surely for lore it should be the other way around. But then you've got a single Titan wreaking this much destruction. I quite like the fact that this is here, though, because you can point to it. You can say, you know, a lot of people say, oh, there wasn't that much urgency in Prophecies. We'd only just met the Titans. We didn't really know how dangerous they were. Who really cares? You know, the big threat at the end of Prophecies obviously was this idea that you had to be. We were really scared that the Titans were going to get released all over the world and they were going to be everywhere, and that was going to be destruction of the world. But we had no frame of reference. We had no way of looking at the Titans thinking, oh, well, how dangerous really can they be? How bad is it going to be? Well, this serves as a brilliant frame of reference. You can actually point to this and say, well, hold on, look at what just one Titan did to this area, and think of what the Vizier was trying to do, release hundreds and hundreds of Titans all over the world. You know, if you think of those quests in the Maguma jungle where we're trying to save it from the Titans, that's mental, that's crazy. Can you imagine? Just the whole Maguma jungle would become a wasteland, which is quite funny, actually, considering that come Guild Wars 2, it has become a wasteland. The Maguma jungle in Guild Wars 2, in case you don't remember me saying, since it was all the way back in Prophecies, or you just don't know, what actually happens there is, you know, the Maguma jungle's got like all the dry tops and kind of the hilly deserty areas. Well, those slowly expand. Basically, there's a lot of desertification, if I remember my geography, that's the correct term, happening there, and just slowly the whole place just ends up losing all vegetation, and all that's really left, as far as I'm aware, is further to the south to where the Tarnished Coast is. We still haven't heard anything about whether you can actually go there in Guild Wars 2. We know the lore behind what's happened there, but we don't know why essentially it's happened, whether it's just a natural process or whether there was some magician there or whatever. We don't know what the cause is, or whether we'll even be able to play there. I mean, it was announced that we can't go to the Ring of Fire, we can't go to the Crystal Desert. I guess it depends how much Arenanet feel like they can make with the areas, because the thing is with Guild Wars 2, I love the idea of a huge in-game world. I really do. I don't care how stupid that sounds. I really like the idea of having a massive world, because the bigger the world, the more immersive it is to me, and just the concept of being able to get lost in a fantasy world is something really awesome, if you ask me. And I doubt you'll ever really get lost in an MMO, and I doubt I'll ever really get lost in Guild Wars 2, considering, you know, they've got the compasses that are on your screen all the time. They've got so many UI elements that take away from that. But, you know, you've got the option, I guess, of when you start playing Guild Wars 2, of vowing to never press M and look at the map and turning off the specific, like the compass or whatever. You could do that, I guess, and hopefully get lost. But, you know, the problem with Guild Wars 2 is, and I always really wanted it to be this massive world, but you've got to look at it logically. What they're doing with dynamic events, it's just not feasible. Are my guys still doing okay? Look, this is what the Jinn do. This is how they devastate you. It's just all-round pressure. If you don't flag out, you know, you can't take that kind of pressure for very long. If I wasn't knocking these guys down, if Gwen wasn't interrupting them, we'd be screwed so quickly. But yeah, just you got to look at what's going on with dynamic events. It wouldn't work. They have to have less areas but a lot more content within them. Anyway, right, let's actually get onto this. So Gwen's speaking. She says, "Is this the last of the gods the Char worship? We must destroy it. They deserve no deities." Okay. And Pyre Fierce Shot actually has some interesting stuff here. Where is the Titan? Oh, there he is. Ignis the Eternal. I don't know whether that's actually Latin for anything. As you're probably aware, all Titan names are in Latin, like in Prophecies at the very least. Every single Titan, you can translate it from Latin and it would have some cool name, like I Destroy or I Crush Bones or stuff like this. In Nightfall, when we met the ones in the Realm of Torment, sadly they didn't continue that tradition along, so that was a bit of a shame. So therefore I don't know about this guy. Ignis sounds like a Latin name, a Latin word though. So, check this out: Char Siege Devourer versus a Titan. You don't see this much, do you? Brilliant. So yeah, we're just going to take him out. He himself, not that dangerous. Oh my god, I say that, and now we're all dead. That could just be because of the Jinn, though. Is he going to die? He's so close to dying. See, me being in the Siege Devourer, I've got like 1,000 health, so I could just knock him out. There we go, he's out. He dropped a winged axe. Cool, an axe. Oh, do you remember when we used to use axes all the time? Maybe I should go back. Maybe I should start using a hammer, actually, because let's face it, using a hammer would, we've not used a hammer yet, have we? So, anyway, there we go. That's actually the quest done. We're quite lucky. Pyre is supposed to be speaking here. It's not doing it at all. Okay, well, that's like... Well, I read on Wiki. I'd never seen this phenomenon myself. I was kind of looking forward to showing it to you guys. Pyre also has dialogue. Obviously, if we didn't have Gwen, if we didn't have Pyre in the party, they wouldn't have spoken at all. But this is one of those situations where Arenanet were like, if they've got him in the party, we'll add extra dialogue for people to read. And Pyre says something like, we will destroy this false god. The shamans will soon see how unreal they really are. This is kind of annoying. That's the second time Pyre could have given us dialogue about the gods that we've missed. Oh well, basically, Pyre's wiki said anyway that... Oh, blob of ooze. You don't see these very much, do you? Wiki said that Pyre's got this weird thing, like a bug, like in the quest, where if Pyre's with you and he dies fighting the Titan, he'll resurrect on his own, like every 3 seconds, and continue spamming the dialogue he has. This is what Wiki says. Anyway, I've never seen it. I've never seen any videos or anything demonstrating that that's true. But then again, I rarely use Pyre. Back when we could only have 3 heroes, I was very picky about them. And you know, you can go to PVX Wiki yourself now and look if you want. Rangers as heroes, they just suck a bit, guys. Let's be honest here. They just kind of suck a bit. There's no meta builds for hero rangers, and indeed there are no great builds either. The only time you see a ranger build that's deemed worthy of a hero is if you go into the good category, and even then it's just tagged as a hero build, but really it's a human build. Which is this barrage one here. which I actually decided to configure before filming this video because I'd forgotten before. But yeah, there we go. So this is the forest. There's actually a dungeon down here, the Catacombs of Cathandrax. Brilliant dungeon. Can't wait to show it. It's fantastic. There's some really cool, unique stuff there. The boss at the end's brilliant. There's some really cool stuff to see down there, and it fits into the theme of like being fire everywhere, basically, is the best way I can put it. I don't know whether that's a direct result of the Titan being out here. I don't think this quest even explains how the Titan got here. There's no follow-up quest to it, so that's quite interesting, actually. How the hell did the Titan get here? And why is it taking me so long to raise this question? Anyway, well, we're done here. I did kind of have other plans for this video. I thought that wouldn't take that long. We'll go out and cash in the rewards. Basically, before filming this, I got in from work. I came onto Guild Wars ready to film for 5:30, right? And then I thought, right, I just want to buy some char battle plans because I doubt we'll get any as drops. I want to buy some and demonstrate in this video the char battle plans. So I sat there in Camadan and I wanted to get them as quick as possible, these battle plans. So I offered people, and this might sound a bit mad, but I offered people 30k for each one. But I was sat there in Camadan for an hour and 10 minutes. It wasn't until 20 to 7 that anyone actually offered to sell me a battle plan, and even then that guy only sold me one. So what I actually did was I thought, well, I put the price so high because I wanted a fast sale, so I thought, you know what, fuck it, and I lowered the price to 10k per, and suddenly I had people offering to sell me them constantly. So I think people probably were a bit skeptical of my original price and thought, oh, he's obviously just a scammer, and the second I lowered it, suddenly loads of people were offering it. So if you were in Camadan today, which is what is today? I don't know the date, but if you were in Camadan today, the day I've uploaded this video, and you saw that, you missed out, buddy, because you could have got, if you had 3, that would have been basically 100k you could have got. But yeah, anyway, so I'm a little bit bitter about that because I was waiting around for so long. But we do have 4, and next video we will be speaking to Captain Langmar and checking these out and using the encryption device. And I'm really excited because it's like going back to one of the first videos I ever did, which is going to be really cool. Anyway, let's cash these in. I'll stop rambling. Okay, so thank you for helping Anton. With Rage Mauler dead, the Char forces will be in disarray. For a while, anyway. I cannot have a soldier who goes off on his own missions. Perhaps if Anton were to travel with you, he could learn to control his inner demons. You should find him invaluable. He is a survivor. I love that line. He's a survivor. Is he really a survivor? He's an assassin hero. He's not a survivor. Okay, just remember, even though your cause is true, beware the lure of obsession. It can drown you in darkness. Oh, that's cool. I like that last line. That's cool. Alright, okay, so there you go. Anton has joined our party. A prisoner in Sirmia awaiting execution, Anton escaped during the Char invasion and fled north. He survived many long years alone by raiding Char and eventually joined the Ebon Vanguard after being saved by Captain Langmar. He now employs his assassin skills for the good of the Vanguard, acting as their scouts. Okay, cool. And the other reward is the smell of Titan in the morning. You say the Titan is dispatched, but the fires still burn. Perhaps in time we can find a way to quench the flames, but I'm too preoccupied with Char right now to worry about that. We will simply have to sacrifice the forest. Your victory over the Titan has assured our safety. For that we are grateful. I don't really know why she cares about the forest down there, really, since it's deep in Char territory, but whatever. This actually kind of, they do a bit of a Tomb Raider legend here where clearly this is just a gameplay thing, right? They didn't have the resources to have a quest to actually affect that whole area and put the fire out. That would have been awesome, and they could have done it in theory, considering it's an instant game, but they didn't, so now they kind of give us this throwaway line to explain it, but yeah, there you go. So we actually get a skill here, the Ebon Vanguard, Ebon Battle Standard of Honor. These standards are actually kind of cool. Maybe I'll use them and show them. I'm not sure. But yeah, alright, so that's about that, guys. Next video, we'll stay in the Char homeland because I'm really enjoying myself here at the moment. We'll look at the Char battle plans. I might even try and do that Siege Devourer thing. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. It is the weekend, so I should have enough time to set up. And also, hopefully we can find out what happened with Brave Brent Poultroon, I think is his name, and Chance Redding and so forth, who went off. They actually went to Sacnoth Valley as well. So we'll go down there. I can finally show you the Honeycomb Collector, all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah. And I think that was actually quite a good time in there, 24 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, I guess I will see you next time. See you next time, guys. See you later.